This is Stars and Scopes with your pal Uma Ruby. Updated every new and full moon with guidance based on planetary transits in the current sky and extra support from tarot. For accuracy, do listen to your rising sign first if you know it, but do feel free to listen to your sun, moon and rising if you'd like the full picture. If you're loving this work and you've got some coins to spare, throw them in the tin over at buymeacoffee.com/Uma Ruby and you can buy me a coffee. Okay, let's drop into it. Hello Virgo and Virgo rising, happy Pride Month and welcome to your reading for the full moon in Sagittarius, happening on June the 14th at 9:52 p.m. if you're using Australian Eastern Standard Time. This is exciting. This is a beautiful full moon that we get to work with. We get to do our rituals, say our prayers, let things go. We're out of eclipse season for the time being. Remember that. There's still messages and lessons to learn in memoriam as we go on. Immemorial. I don't know what word to use or edit out, so I probably won't edit. Anyhow, this new moon is the perfect time to let go of maybe some shortcomings or sort of self-imposed disappointments that you might have around home and stability and safety. The fourth house, which is where Sagittarius is for you, goes to explain a lot of that kind of passion that you have, that kind of real, it's kind of funny because it's like it's an opposing energy to what you might think the home is, you know, but it kind of to me says that home is where you thrive. Home is where you learn and you teach, and you've got a lot of passion for creating space and for holding space for other people and making sure that they've got everything they need, and home is your kind of dominion. I guess that makes a lot of sense for Sag to be there for a Virgo. So at a full moon, we let things go. As I said before, we let go what we are holding ourselves back with. We let go what hasn't materialized from our manifestations from, the new moon in this sign in Sag. It's also a time just to really get off your own back and to enjoy the mysteries of Mother Nature and the planets. So I wanted to talk you through, I've got some tarot cards here that I've pulled prior, and these are all the ones that relate specifically to the zodiac. So as I said in the last readings, every tarot card can be related to a particular point in the sky. So the moon is at 23 degrees of Sagittarius, and the card for that is the 10 of Wands. Now this is a kind of slightly difficult energy. It does talk about sort of being exhausted. If you think about your fire elements, so think about your creative drive, your passions, your love affairs, all of those sorts of like fiery sorts of, beautiful Sagittarius qualities. The 10 of Wands talks about that moment of just feeling almost in over your head, of just sort of being like, oh God, I don't think I can go on any longer. This is just really taking from me rather than feeding me. So that's an interesting energy to ponder first up. I wonder if there's something at home that is just feeling you're just feeling up against it in some way in trying to balance a happy home life, maybe with some of your more passionate ideas and exchanges. So that's the moon. Opposing the moon is the sun, and that's how we, the light from the sun is hitting the moon at 100%. That's how we get a full moon. That's at 23 degrees in Gemini, opposite side of the zodiac. The card for that is the 10 of Swords, which is again another sort of end of cycle, another exhaustion card. But this one's got a little bit more worrying energy. It does talk about mental anguish. It talks about anxiety. It talks about the pressure that our brains can put us under when in strife or working from our sort of trigger responses, working from that nervous system shut down. I'm sorry if that's what you're going through, if that's sort of in some way related to home at the moment for you. It's terrible to feel instability in a place that should be stable for you. And as a Virgo, like, stability in home is paramount. You really need everything in its place and as you like it. So that's that. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything to do with that, but this is just a place to start this conversation. So that's the sun and the moon. They're forming another difficult aspect. I know we've had so many of them. We've had so many T-squares in the last couple of months. This one's an interesting one because we've got the sun there, the moon there, and then here, the third sort of triangulation, the third point making that triangulation is Neptune. Now, Neptune's still in Pisces. Neptune's happy as Larry in Pisces, the planet of illusion and magic and you know, the unspoken, unknown. It's really happy there. I've spoken about Neptune in Pisces quite a lot this year because the energy is so lovely and it's been so beneficial for a lot of people. But in a T-square, it's a fight for supremacy. It's sort of like a battle between the energies. It's Neptune almost shouting, look at me, you know, I've got this to say. This is happening in your 7th house, which is your intimate relationships, your lovers, the people closest to you. So think about Neptune in a lower vibration. That's delusion, not magic. That's falsity. That's convincing yourself. So I wonder if there's lessons in there. I wonder if this moon will give you the chance, an opportunity for that veil to be lifted a bit in terms of some sense of delusion or something not being quite right in your intimate relationships. Or it could be also lifting the veil on your self-delusion. Like if you're in a place of feeling not enough or feeling out of sync with your intimate relationships, and that's why home's feeling so peculiar. If you've gone through a bunch of endings, you know, like that could be that delusion that we have here could be you in your ear saying you're not capable of this, you're not worth it. The Neptune's at 25 in Pisces, 25 degrees. The card that goes with that is the 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups is fairy tale energy. 10 of Cups is sort of fantasy land. It's like the end of the movie, you know, like the couple holding one another, the children playing in the background, the sun setting, and beauty and joy forever. I've said it to near every reading, but that's delusion. And I think probably really pertinent for 4th, 7th house stuff, for home and relationships. This is delusion, really, when we think about it. There's no ending to the story. Life isn't a storybook. Life isn't a movie, you know, as much as we sometimes would like it to be with Neptune energy. But hopefully this can be a message that comes through to you that whatever shortcomings you're feeling, perceived shortcomings, they're perhaps not as true as you might have been thinking to yourself. A couple more aspects and then we'll jump into some intuitive tarot, but I've got here the 7 of Swords and the 3 of Wands. So the sun and the moon are in positive aspect, as well as that difficult one with Neptune. The moon is trining, which is a really positive, it's brethren energy, fire and fire. So fire moon, Sag, it's in a supportive aspect with Mars in Aries. So there's real passion there. There's a real passionate sort of charging ahead sort of vibe. So in terms of 4th house stuff, I wonder if there's things that you've been keeping to yourself in terms of home and family. Maybe you want to start a home of your own, you know, like if that's the case, then Mars is there to really help you through and to charge ahead and to make this happen for you. The sun is in, again, a trine, positive aspect, family feelings, air and air, so intellect and intellect, with Saturn, who's been quite difficult to us this last bit of time. But this time around, there's a really positive relationship going on here with the sun and with Saturn. So as far as the rule book, boundaries, discernment, that's all going to come into play here as well in some of these themes for you. You're a Virgo, so you're kind of all of those things that I've just said you love. So, yeah, feel supported in that way through any potential difficulty that might be cropping up or needing to be released at home or in your relationships. So that's the sky. That's all the jazz that's happening up here. I'm going to pull you some intuitive tarot though as well, just to see what Spirit might want to say right now. And there might be some ways to sort of sew this up and you know, look forward to the moon. Look forward to this. Sorry about the... I don't have a mic stand here, so I'm clacking my cards in the mic. I hope it's not too hectic. Okay, Spirit, what can you tell me very quickly to cap it off, to sing to Virgo at the end of this reading, at this Sagittarius full moon, when we're focusing in on the home? Ooh. Oh. Oh. Got two there, 2 sevens, 7 of cups, 7 of wands so far. Interesting. These have come out to play in our last readings. More stuff to do with illusion and more stuff to do with defenses as well. Okay, this is lovely. 2 of cups. That's a sacred connection. That's a soul contract. That's love. You know, that's one meets the other. And the Queen of Swords. So this, I would suspect, is maybe an energy in your periphery. Is there someone that you can go to, that not to act as mediator or anything like that, but I kind of sense that through all of this mix up and potential, you know, potential need of a good old release, I think you need to find yourself a Queen of Swords energy, someone who won't let you get away with anything, who will tell you the truth as they see it, and will hear you out though, you know, has the beautiful empathy to sit there and hold counsel, but will tell you the truth from their perspective. So this is all in relation to, I mean, there's options here in the 7 of Cups, but they're all illusionary. They're not physical manifestations of anything. They're just sort of options, potential options. And then there's this big defense kind of feeling here too. So if you're feeling defensive in some way about, if you're needing to defend your loved ones or your home, this could be an interesting thing to work with as well. But I think that really what we're being told here is that there is help out there, and you just need to find yourself your Queen of Swords. Find your queenie who you can chat with and work out an action plan for future, because the full moon's about release, but we get to manifest in 6 months from now. We get to call in what it is we wish for in these aspects of our lives. So that's the reading, Virgo. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening in on Spotify or watching on YouTube if you like the visual component. I have put up a whole bunch of new readings on my website that are tailored to the elementals. If there was specific spaces you'd like to go in a reading with me, I incorporate tarot and astrology in all of my readings. So it's a good meaty time to really get to know your chart. You can also give me a tip at buymeacoffee.com/Uma Ruby if you'd like to. Other than that, I will see you in 2 weeks, and we'll celebrate the new moon in Cancer, and we'll have a beautiful chance to call in some real emotional healing. That'll be a really great time for us all, I think, after everything else that we're grappling with now. Much love to you, Virgo. Take care, and full moon blessings. I'll see you soon. Bye.